With no shortage of vehicle dashcams on the market, you may find the Chinese manufactured VioFo sold overseas under various different brand names, such as the Spytek A119 on Amazon. Although hardware-wise they are identical, creating what could be a very strong contender in the dashcam market. If you're after something affordable yet reliable enough to get the job done, the VioFo A119 could be right up your street. There are a couple of dual camera systems on the market, but if you're happy with a single front-facing camera solution, then the A119 Pro by VioFo could be a safe bet. Plastic in construction and matte black in colour so as to not attract unwanted attention, the unit itself is rather compact and lightweight, perfect for most vehicles out there. The 2-inch screen dominates the front of the unit, although note that this is not touch sensitive, hence the buttons just below, used for controlling and setting various functions and features. All rather plasticky, but with a tactile click they get the job done. On one side we find a micro USB port for powering the device, bearing in mind the unit incorporates a supercapacitor based power supply, meaning users shouldn't have issues running this in hotter climates, an issue that plagues other entry-level dashcams. Otherwise, on the same side we find an AV out port, while on the opposite side is a reset pinhole alongside the micro SD memory card slot. Bearing in mind you'll need to provide your own Class 10 card as one is not supplied with the package. The rest of the unit is covered with ventilation holes for cooling, and around the back we find the f1.8 160 degree wide angle lens, attached to a pivot for easy repositioning. Backed by a Novatec 96660 chipset and an OmniVision OV4689 image sensor, the unit boasts 20 megabits per second video capture at up to 1440p at 30 frames per second, which should allow for some sharp video capture. The unit comes complete with a mount that contains the unit's GPS sensor, which simply locks into the rear of the main recorder, now also providing an adhesive pad for attachment to your vehicle's windscreen. It does sit very firm with no wiggle room, although if you decide to pick up this unit, you'll want this newer version with the spring-loaded connectors. Previous versions had a row of pins which would remain depressed and lose connection with the camera, so ensure you receive this model with the spring-loaded clips for reliable operation. Anyway, the camera starts up and starts recording automatically when power is supplied, with lots of useful information on display around the outer edge of the screen, such as current settings, mode, and so on. As stated, the screen isn't touch sensitive, so we need to use the buttons to navigate around, but saying that, it's rather easy with a single menu option list for changing all kinds of settings, ranging from resolutions, audio capture through to exposure adjustment, parking mode, all the usual stuff that you'd expect on an entry-level system. Very easy to navigate and use with no problems there at all. Nevertheless, mounting is pretty easy too, thanks to the included accessories. We've seen the adhesive pad on the GPS mount, although if for any reason you'd rather not capture GPS data, you can use one of the included non-GPS mounts if you'd prefer, or the included suction cup mount, although note that it seems the suction cup mount cannot be used with the GPS unit attached, which is a slight annoyance. Talking of that GPS unit, although I noticed no wiggle room, if you did come across any, some foam adhesive pads are included, which can be attached to the underside and provide a tighter fit. Otherwise, we'll receive a nice long USB power cable, some cable clips, and a dual power adapter, which complete the generous accessory kit. Once in place, when it comes to using the camera, you can pretty much forget it's even there. Left alone, the system will continue to record in the background, and once the card fills up, it will automatically loop the video. At the same time, the built-in G-force sensor will protect portions of the recorded video if it senses any sudden braking or impacts without you even needing to press a button. When it comes to video quality, it's not the best I've come across, but it's enough to make out good levels of detail in the image. Colours are all there and are relatively true to life. No major concerns there at all, although I would have liked to have seen things a tad sharper across the board. Nevertheless, there's no issue picking up details such as vehicle number plates for instance, easily enough to get the job done. When it comes to low light, the small sensor does its best to produce a decent image, albeit with plenty of grain as you'd expect, but again enough to pick out some detail in the shot, although naturally the more light you can throw at the lens the better. As it stands, it's certainly not the best I've seen, but in its current price range it does a pretty good job overall. All in all, for a single front-facing camera solution for your vehicle, this is a pretty decent unit that contains all the basics. There are some added features, like lane guidance and obstacle avoidance, which I still need to test, but would probably rarely use anyway, but even so, it's quick to set up, easy to use, and does the job pretty well. A sharper image would have been nice, as well as built-in GPS rather than that extra attachment, but as it stands, it doesn't seem to disappoint in its current price range, making it easy to recommend.